What's going on, guys? Raymond Liu here from Supreme 6. As an investor, I can't recall the last time I purchased an investment property where I didn't have challenges or issues from a financing standpoint. As lender requirements are getting stricter and stricter, it's becoming more difficult to qualify for financing. Just from my conversations along with other fellow realtors, investors, and owners, it seems like this is a fairly common experience. So what do you do when you run into a financing obstacle that threatens to kill the deal that you want so badly? Well, there are a number of creative financing alternatives, but on this week's Minute Monday, we'll be covering just one, and that's vendor takeback, also known as VTB. What is a VTB? A VTB is when the seller offers to lend money to the buyer to purchase a property. The VTB could be either for the entire amount of the mortgage a buyer needs, but more often employed as a second mortgage. So in essence, this is a second registered loan. If you were a buyer, you might be asking yourself, why in the world would the owner offer me a loan to buy his property? Well, great question. Some properties may be hard to sell. Perhaps the property is run down and it needs extensive repair work, or the property is stigmatized as a result of a recent death that happened in the property, or maybe the fact that the property was built in anticipation of community growth, which has taken a lot longer to finish. Whatever the reason may be, lenders will appraise the property based on its current condition, thus offering a lower mortgage amount to the buyer. What this means is that the buyer will now need to come up with the difference between the amount they have for their down payment and the amount offered on their first mortgage. So let me give you a quick example. Say I'm the seller and you're the buyer who just happened to want to purchase my property. We agree on a final sale price of $1 million. But since the property requires extensive repair work, and because the amount of money that needs to go into the repairs is uncertain, banks will see this as risky and thus agrees to only offer you $500,000 as a first mortgage. So the problem here is that you only have 25% or $250,000 of the $1 million for your down payment. Banks will only lend you $500,000. This means you're $250,000 short. So you come to me, the seller, and ask if I can offer a VTB. Just given the current circumstances, the fact that I know this home requires extensive work and repairs, very likely if I turn your offer down, that other potential buyers will also experience the same difficulties when trying to get financing. After some thought, I decided to give you, the buyer, a vendor takeback of $250,000 based on the terms that we agree on. From the seller's perspective, while I won't get all my money in one lump sum, the upside is that I'll now have a recurring monthly income stream from your mortgage payments. Most importantly, I've achieved my goal, and that was to sell my property. From your perspective, the buyer, you managed to buy and close on a property that you would not have happened otherwise. And all you did was you thought outside the box. As you can see, VTB financing is a useful and important tool in the toolbox of an investor. While complicated and not suitable for every transaction, the flexibility afforded by VTB financing acts as a creative alternative to traditional financing. So as always, I hope you found this content informative. If you did, remember smashing the like button. And if you haven't followed us on IG already, be sure to do so for the most up-to-date content, tips, and advice on anything real estate related. That's it for this week's Minute Monday.